Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. Today we bring you an OCAA men's volleyball matchup between the visiting Algonquin Wolves and the Centennial Colts. I'm up top here, Jack Middleton. I'm going to be alongside Coach Andrew Mallory at some point. Going to join me up here in the broadcast booth, but once again, welcome inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. The 11-2 Centennial Colts will take on the 5-8 Algonquin Wolves. The Colts coming off of a 4-set victory over the Fleming Phoenix last Friday the 10th, while the Algonquin Wolves come in on a 2-game losing streak, losing in 5 sets to the Canadore Panthers, as well as 4 sets to the George Brown Huskies in yesterday's affair. The Colts sitting in second spot in the OCAA's Eastern Division, while the Algonquin Wolves are fighting in the 7th spot. That'll do it for me up top here in the booth for the pregame festivities. I'm going to send it down courtside to our public address announcer, Ryan Miller, for the starting lineups. There was your starting lineups from our public address announcer, Ryan Miller. I am now alongside Andrew Mallory, the coach of our women's volleyball team. Andrew, how's it going?
doing quite well. It's always a good day to get a win.
Well, that's always a good day to get a win. It was a tough 5-set victory. There's nothing more to say, really. Girls played amazing.
Basically a playoff game as we fight to get a home playoff game, so we'll take it.
This is exactly what we're doing here. I mean, our men's team is pretty much into a home playoff game at this point, and I'm pretty sure they're locked in, but still fighting for positions, can still get to that top spot, which is absolutely what they're fighting for here today. Starting lineup for the Centennial Colts: AJ Thrasingham, Pedro Casalato, Bosco Ducharme, Ruslan Delaware, Michael Matsudo, Milan Zavoinovic, and Michael Korapi. For the Wolves, we have Darren Din, Naoki Nakashima, Mateo Nunez Cruz, Malcolm Spence, Victor Landry, Gavin Hassel, Mahmoud Abdelaziz, Liam Arnold Paquette, and Carl Rollins as we get started with Michael Matsudo. The set goes close side to Abdelaziz, and it's an early point for the Algonquin Wolves.
Ducharme with a little overreach there. I think probably would have been better off letting that go so that the back row could have picked that up, but it's always hard in the middle to let anything go. You're trained, you want that ball.
The Wolves send back number 3, Mateo Nunez Cruz, the first-year rookie out of Ottawa. His serve a good one, handled by Casalato. Matsudo, quick set to Ducharme in the middle, and an early point for Bosco Ducharme.
Matsudo is back, and you quickly see that chemistry has not gone away.
Yeah, missing him for a couple games to start the semester. He was away back home in Japan, but a welcome sight coming back.
Hopefully rested and ready to go for the second semester.
An early kill there from Milan Zavoinovic. A mistake from the Wolves on the service reception, and Zavoinovic makes them pay.
Classic party ball. Just send that back and have some fun.
Ruslan Delaware back on the serve for the Colts. Delaware serve roll just off his fingertips and to the left out of bounds. So we're tied at 2 early on.
Looked like he was really trying to get a short spin serve there, which is a high difficulty serve, so you don't mind missing a few, but obviously you don't want to make a pattern of that early.
Gavin Hassel back to serve for the Wolves. Hassel serve. Will float that over Casalato. Goes Matsudo quickly to Ducharme and in on the close side of the court as we go back and forth early on.
Establishing middle nice and early. The classic thing every coach tells to their setters all the time is establish your middles. So far, Matsudo's doing an excellent job of that nice and early here. Will really open up the pins as we go throughout this game.
Ducharme heads back to serve. His serve handled by the Wolves. The set's going to go early to the middle. That's to number 18, Carl Rollins. He'll fly that to the back of the Athletic and Wellness Center here, and the Colts will take a 2-point lead.
Looks like the middle there overran the 30 a little bit. Either that or the set was farther off than he was expecting, but not the establishing a middle they were hoping to do.
The serve there from Ducharme floats out to the left, so a service error gives the ball back to the Wolves.
Is that an early commentator's curse on me for saying we don't want to make a pattern of the misserves?
Yeah, probably. It happens up here. You just get used to it, to be honest with you. I think I had probably 3 or 4 in your game this afternoon. So.
Oh, don't worry. When in doubt, we just blame the commentators.
Casalato with a good dig. Matsudo back, sets to Thrasingham. Tap back over. The Colts get the ball back. Set goes far side to Zavoinovic. Blocked at the net by Rollins, but it's out on the side of the Colts. The Colts will take the point.
Really the time of year we start looking at playoff positioning here, and looking at the standings in front of me, Algonquin is really fighting to make sure they stay out of that 8th position. 8th position has a trip to Humber, who has been one of the best teams in the country all year, so they're definitely fighting to make sure they can earn some wins here to stay out of that road trip to Humber.
Yeah, and it's not somewhere you want to be. Even going to Fanshawe playing that second seed doesn't make it any better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they got a bit of a path to go to get outside of 7 or 8, but they're definitely looking to take that momentum in the second semester.
Good kill there from Delaware off the body of a Wolves defender. Gives the Colts a 3-point lead and racing them back to serve.
And Colts, on the other hand, have had a really good start to the year, and they're just looking to get a little bit of chemistry as their lineup has changed slightly in the second semester and just make sure they're fully prepared for whoever comes their way from the west.
That set goes far side to Zavoinovic, tipped over. The set is going to come close side to Arnold Paquette, blocked at the net by Michael Korapi.
Really good triple block there to take away all the options on the swing besides the tip, which he was not really in position as an attacker to hit that tip, so ends up in a tough position trying to go off the block and out, and Colts do a good job with their hands of pushing it down inbounds.
Racingham's serve handled well by Spence. The set's going to go to Arnold Paquette, and a good dig by Delaware. Castelletto's going to set to Zavoinovic off the hands of the block. The set goes far side, just out of the reach, so the Colts have a free ball. It's going to go to Thracingham. He'll roll it over. The Wolves keep it alive. Far side, played over by Landry. Colts quickly back the other way, and a diving stop, but nobody there to get it for the Wolves. A tip over the net from Michael Corpy.
Excellent rally there for Castellano. Had a couple really good out-of-system sets, off bump sets, had a couple good continues. Really nice job by the lib that doesn't always hit the stat sheet.
So with that being said, a 5-point lead for the Colts, forcing the Algonquin Wolves to take their first timeout. Yella Koyman takes his timeout, and an 8-3 early lead in set number 1 for the Colts. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center early on in set number 1 as AJ Thracingham gets us restarted. A good dig from Arnold Paquette as the Wolves play a free ball over. Matsudo sets both sides to Thracingham through the hands of the block and to the floor.
Starts and finishes that. Wolves never really got their balance together after that rocket of a serve. Really good job to keep it going, but never really got themselves in system off of that.
Racing him another good serve. The Wolves have to play it quickly. The quick set into the middle to Rollins, and he'll power that out of the reach of Thracingham.
Really good balance as he's in the air by the setter there to keep that on target to the middle in a spot where the middle can just swing away.
Carl Rollins on the serve. Delaware mishandles it. It goes up to Arnold Paquette, and he makes him pay for it.
Really good eyes on that party ball just to see where the open court was and take advantage.
Another good serve from Rollins. Delaware handles it this time. The set goes to Zavoinovic. He'll just tip it over as the Wolves struggle in a free ball to the Colts. Delaware, Matsudo set, far side to Zavoinovic. He'll power that into the net. It's a little mistiming on the part of Matsudo and Zavoinovic.
Little antenna fix here nice and early.
Delaware, Matsudo quickly to Corpy, and they use that quick middle connection to take the point away from the Wolves.
A few years ago, that definitely would have been called a throw, but in the last couple of years, that has definitely become a very legal and very deadly play.
Zavoinovic back to serve, a good one dug out by the Wolves. The set's going to go far side to Landry, blocked at the net. Wolves keep it alive. Set goes to Arnold Paquette, he'll tip it over. Corpy keeps it up. Matsudo sets to Thracingham, and he'll fire that over everybody and out of play.
Looked like his approach timing was just thrown off a little bit by the angle of where that set was coming from. Not too often you're hitting a C ball with the ball coming from your right side. So a little bit of a timing thing there. If they go back there, I think that will get ironed out pretty quickly.
Victor Landry back to serve, now a 3-point lead for the Colts. Landry's serve rolls it over, Castelletto handles it. Matsudo quickly to Corpy, blocked at the net. Colts get the ball back. Matsudo resets to Delaware. That's kept alive, and the Wolves go back the other way. Arnold Paquette, he fires that out of the reach of Castelletto. Lucky for the Colts, that one's out of play.
Really good job by the Wolves to stop that first middle attack. It was really well run route from coming from behind the setter there. But the Blocks did a really good job of helping each other out and taking that away really quickly.
Corpy serve, fires it into the net, so service error for Corpy, gives the ball back to the Wolves. Now an 11-8 lead for the Colts.
That's what, 4 service errors, I think, for the Colts already, 3 or 4. And we've only got 8 points from the Wolves, so definitely a higher rate than you'd be looking for, but the aggressive serving definitely does pay off in other points.
Serve from Arnold Paquette off the tip of the net. Goes to Thracium, a little misjudge, kind of helps. Back to the Wolves. The set goes to Abdelaziz. He'll fire it out of play. The Colts take the point.
Really good job of the official, just double checking what his linesperson saw there, just look for that touch and then making his call. Really like that patience of making sure he got the call right.
Matsudo back to serve. Handled by the libero. A quick 2-touch over the net by the setter. A smart play from the Wolves.
That's an interesting time to go for that. If that's something you can do consistently, that is definitely puts the defense off guard when he's going backwards like that. To have that two-handed shove forward, you kind of pull everybody over with you and then send it back the other way.
The serve from Nunez Cruz handled well. The set's going to go to Delaware. A triple block goes back to the way of the Colts. The Thracium does keep it alive, but nobody there to put that ball back over the net.
Fortunately, I think that was a third touch as well. It looked like it went off Castellano first before going off of Milan. Sorry. Don't have his last name in front of me. My bad. I know their first names, guys. I apologize.
Served by Nunez Cruz, handled by Zavoinovic. Goes to Thracium. It's blocked out of play. The Colts take the point.
That's why you're the seasoned professional. You got the names right.
I got you. Trust me, it took probably about an hour of practice to get down Zavoinovic, but figured it out finally. It also took me about 3 weeks to get Ruslan Delaware going. His serve handled by the Wolves. The set's going to go to Rollins, but a little missed time. Fires that out of play, and the Colts take another point, up 14-10.
Both teams definitely trying to establish their middles here. Colts have definitely done a little better job of that so far, but don't look for the Wolves to go away from it too soon here.
Delaware's serve is fired into the net, so another error for the Colts, and the Wolves take the point. Back to serve. His serve handled by Castellano. Matsudo, quick set into the middle to Bosco Ducharme.
Bosco's had a really big start to this game. Not always a starter in every game, but he's done a really good job of establishing his offense quickly here.
And as we say that, Bosco Ducharme will be checking out of the game. It brings in Andrew Rose to serve.
Listen, you bring the middle out from your serve for the defense, not the offense. I was praising the offense. I know talking to Coach Jordan this week, he was talking about using a little more of his DSs and some of his other players on his team who are good at serve reception and defense and things like that in a couple of rotations here.
That set goes far side to Abdelaziz, but his kill just a couple inches outside in front of Andrew Rose, able to communicate and not touch that ball.
He looks very comfortable defending out of 5 for typically a setter who would defend out of 1 more often in practice, I would assume.
Abdelaziz another chance, and this time he capitalizes past Michael Matsudo. And that substitution reversed, as you would expect.
Yeah, when you're a DS, you're on for short time, not a long time.
Serve from Abdelaziz into the net, so the first service error from the Wolves gives the Colts a 5-point lead.
Didn't get over, but my eyes sure lost sight of that one. It was that fast to serve.
Racing him on the serve. Another good one handled by Spence. It goes back to the way of the Colts. Matsudo tries to get the kill. It's just a little bit too far.
Anytime the setter swings, it can be a big momentum swing if he gets it. Just misses that back corner.
It's a rare one. You don't see Matsudo go up, obviously, for the ball too often, but the crowd gives a nice little warm welcome for him no matter what. That's a quick set. It'll go to Corpy in the middle, and a kill for Michael Corpy.
The middle attack again. It's been ruthlessly effective for the Colts so far.
Zavoinovic will exit the game. It brings in Caden DeLorme to serve for the Colts.
Colts are a little bit short-handed in the middle today, but their middles they've got playing are doing an excellent job early.
DeLorme serve is a good one, handled by Abdelaziz. The set's going to go quickly into the middle, and a good kill for Nunez Cruz.
Gastelum talking to his blockers, just making a slight adjustment there. Looked like they left a little bit more of a seam than you would have liked.
Landry on the serve. His serve played to Delaware. That's going to go back to Delaware off the hands of the block, and they keep it alive. Quick set to Abdelaziz off the hands of Castellato.
Well, he read the right spot. That was just a really hard hit. Sometimes volleyball, it's as simple as you hit it hard enough, good things happen.
Another good serve by Landry. The set's going to go quickly into the middle of the court. Missed time. The Wolves try to capitalize. Goes to Arnold Paquette, and he does capitalize over the block of Michael Matsudo. Colts now with a 2-point lead.
Little defensive miscommunications happening now from the Colts, starting that up.
Serve from Landry, handled by Delaware. They go quickly this time to Corby. It's going to work out.
Back to that middle, back to that middle. It's not only established, it's functioning. Ducharme back in. He's looking to keep that rolling.
Corby back on the serve with a 3-point lead for the Colts. Handed by Abdelaziz. The set's going to go far side to Arnold Paquette. He mistimes his swing and out the back of the court. Corpy serve, he'll fire that into the net, so an error from Michael Corpy gives the ball back to the Wolves. Now only down by 3, 20-17. It's Liam Arnold Paquette, a 4th year out of Ottawa for the Wolves. His serve, a good one off the hands of Delorme, and an ace for Arnold Paquette.
Looked like there might have been a little seam confusion there from the passers. I can't really tell, but would have looked to see one of those two guys take a step into that seam to take that rather than just stick an arm out.
Another serve from Arnold Paquette, handled well this time. The set goes to Theresic and blocked at the net by Abdelaziz. That's going to force a timeout coming from Coach Jordan Timpson as the Colts lead it 20-19 here in set number 1. Welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. You have Jack Middleton alongside Andrew Mallory calling the game today. A 20-19 lead for the Colts as Arnold Paquette gets the game going. Castellato, a good dig, but out of the reach of a sliding Delaware, and the Wolves tie it up at 20.
I'd like to see a little earlier read to get to earlier steps to get that platform in a more balanced position there. Passing is so tough. It's so easy for me to say that, and I would have no chance of doing it myself.
I guarantee if I stand back there, I'm freaking out.
Fair. Very fair. Yes!
Quick set goes to Ducharme, and he powers that just to the line, I believe, on the replay. Oh, into the back corner.
Oh, yeah. No, that was good. Ducharme, the middles for the Colts in general, but Ducharme especially has had a really good first set here, really powering the offense. If they can get that pass, they can really run that at a high percentage right now.
Matsudo serve, handled by Abdelaziz. The set's going to go behind to Landry. A good leave there from Pedro Casalado.
Some confusion in blocking there from the Colts, but maybe it confused the Wolves hitter just enough that it worked.
The Wolves are going to make a substitution. Coming in is number 16. That's Nick Barber.
It's like a back row defensive focus sub.
Served by Matsudo, handled by Abdelaziz. The set goes to him. He'll tip it over. Matsudo keeps it up. Castellato is going to set to Thracium. It's close to the net and push back over. Free ball the way of the Wolves. The set goes close side to Abdelaziz again and past everybody on the Colts side.
Wolves got Ducharme to bite on the middle and the setter combo in the middle, left that 1-on-1 on the outside, and then you're in trouble.
Against somebody like Abdelaziz, a fifth year for the Algonquin Wolves, somebody you do not want to leave a single blocker with.
Yeah, and Ducharme, a younger player still, that's the kind of stuff that's going to go as he gets more time in live games here at this level of what kind of you're going to see and what to not fall for. I was a middle myself, the little bit I played, and it's very hard. It's very challenging.
I got lucky. I was in the setter position in high school, thankfully, so
nice.
Didn't have to go through any of that. It's still hard, I'll tell you that for a fact. LOR serve handled by Abdelaziz. They go quick set. Look possibly like a two-touch, but keep going as Thracium. It's blocked at the net by Abdelaziz. Set goes back to Zavoinovic. Another block at the net, this time by Hassel. Another one by Rollins, and the Colts keep trying. Matsudo goes back to Zavoinovic. He'll just roll it over the net, and the block touches the net, giving the Colts the point.
Looks like the Wolves middle 18 got it on his way down there from my live view. Couple of sets in that rally that probably were a little questionable, but this was official. Typically is quite consistent, but he's quite consistent in letting things go a little bit farther than some people would like.
LOR serve. Dug out well. It goes to Abdelaziz. Blocked at the net by Thracium and Ducharme.
Big finish to the set there. Ducharme once again coming up big. Helped out obviously by his outside hitter, but really good job.
So a first set victory for the Centennial Colts, a 25-21 victory. On the other side of the break, we'll bring you set number 2. Welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. The Colts just won set number 1 by a score of 25-19. It's Jack Middleton alongside Andrew Mallory as the Wolves will get us started here in set number 2.
Like to see if Matsuda goes right back to middle here. It was very effective in the first set.
Castellato digs it well. Matsuda goes to Thrasingham. It's blocked at the net, but they weren't tight enough, and it's a point to the Colts.
Really good speed on that C-ball. Just sped it up a little bit from how fast they were running it in the first set, and it looked like it threw the timing of the blockers off there to get that over. Have to see if that's something they continue or not.
Matsuda serve handled by Abdelaziz. It's going to go back to Abdelaziz over the hands of the block, but just a bit out on the far side of the court. No clue on our replay. Our camera's on the other side of the court, unfortunately. Oh, well.
Yeah, the ref seemed very perplexed by the question, so I don't think he thought it was close.
Set goes back to Abdelaziz. Triple block back to the Wolves. The set will go back to Abdelaziz off the hands of Thrasingham, but the block touches the net. I believe that was Ducharme touching the net.
Really good job by the setter of keeping our Colts middle off balance there. He's in a tough position trying to catch up after that against the flow set. That's something that is easy to say to your setters and hard to do, and he did an excellent job there of everybody's on the gyms coming this way, set it back the other way, and you should get some off-balance blockers at least.
The serve there from Ethan Fisher, the first time he's seen the court, heads into the net, so the Colts take the point.
Well, that's not the way you want to start.
Belowar's serve handled by Abdelaziz. The set's going to go to the back in the hands of Barber. Back to the Colts as Thrasingham will roll that over the top of the block.
Excellent job there by Matsuda. Really good body control as all his momentum's going into the net to get himself stopped, get his hands around clean, and get that set out.
Ball pushed back over the net by Zavonovic. The Wolves take it back over. Abdelaziz tip back to the Wolves. Goes back to Abdelaziz off the hands of Matsuda, and it'll be a point to the Wolves.
So a lot of you will probably be questioning why that was not a ball control problem there. First ball over, you cannot really be called for a double. You're allowed to kind of mishandle it as bad as you need to on the first contact. Potentially could have called a throw with a lift, but the ref decided it was more of a double situation, which is why it did not get called. If that set had been second or third contact, that definitely would have been called, or we would have had some yelling. A lot of players forget that rule, so it's easy for us at home to forget too.
Yeah, that's a forgettable rule for sure. And I mean, Pedro Castellato still has to question it. I'll throw a little question away anyways.
Yeah, Pedro likes to question everything too. So.
The serve.
He's usually right, but he does like to question a lot. Yeah, I will give him a lot of credit though. Castellano has done a much better job of kind of focusing his, thoughts and feelings about calls this year in terms of focusing it more on his play and rather than, messing around with the crowd and the ref. He's done much more focused with that this season. It's really good to see as he grows as a player. Attacked by the Wolves, goes just out there. We're looking for that kind of C&I cross and just doesn't quite hit.
That gives the Colts a 4-point lead early in set number 2, sending Bosco Ducharme back to serve. His serve is out. That looked in from our angle. We might have to get... I don't know if we're going to have a replay of it, to be 100% honest with you.
Naked eye, it looked like it was going out and then dropped in.
Yeah, it looked in from our angle, but we're at a tough angle. I'll believe it.
You at home can go back on YouTube and you do the slowdown. You can tell us.
Normally we got it, but producer Leo over here is mowing down a burrito, so we weren't able to get the replay.
Calls him out.
Absolutely, I always call him out. He spelled my name wrong in the first game.
There we go.
Unbelievable. I had to call him out.
Listen, we really thank all of our people who work here at ColtsNet and the work they do over these long doubleheaders. I'll be the nice one.
Always. Leo's the hardest working guy here, but anytime I get a chance to pinpoint something on him, I will.
See, I'm a special guest, so I got to be nice still, or I don't get invited back.
The Thrasingham serve, he puts that one into the net, so we trade service errors. The Wolves get the ball back.
Middle serving to the Wolves. Be interested to see if the Colts go to a tip over that side and make him play defense. Definitely a big physical guy. Sometimes getting down low to pick up tips can be challenging.
At the 6'6" middle of Carl Rollins. Matsudo will set that to the racing him. They go across the seam and out of place. What'll be a point for the Wolves?
Oh, I really would have liked to see that go line. He was set up for it. He had the guy, I don't know if he just didn't recognize it or just saw something he liked better on the cross, but I would, as a coach, would have loved to have seen that gone line. Although I just like line attacks in general. Anyone who watches our team can probably figure that out.
Colts go quickly back to the middle, and it works one more time to Michael Corby. Vojnovic back to serve for the Colts. He'll float that one over and just a little bit too far, so service error for Milan Vojnovic.
Interesting setup by the Wolves there. I feel like I need to see that one again. I don't know if they had their setter in a position to help out on short stuff and net stuff. Is maybe why they were kind of in a different position. I'd have to take a look. Might be something I'm missing from my own game to figure out there.
The serve from Barber handled by the Colts. The set's going to go to Thrasingham, and it's his attack just a little bit too far as well, so another error from the Colts.
Well, he went for that line shot that I like. Just didn't quite get it.
Producer Leo is he's trying to get back in the good books over here, giving me replays everywhere. That's Barber back to serve. Regularly wears number 7, but wearing number 16 today, so he's going to throw me off. That set goes to Delaware. Kept alive by the Wolves. Reset goes back to Arnold Paquette. Tipped off the hands of Matsudo on the block. Served by Landry, kept alive by the Colts. Played over to the Wolves. It's going to go quickly to the middle. The Colts battle in the middle. I believe the Wolves touch the net. It will be a Colts point.
It looked like both players weren't too sure whether it was them or their opponents who touched the net on that one. But yeah, it does look like number 12 got into the net a little bit at the bottom.
Yeah, the attempted set from Lucas Kelly in the back row was just a little bit too far, forcing his blockers to have to go and play defense. The set goes to Arnold Paquette through the hands of Corby. Arnold Paquette starting to get hot here for the Wolves.
Really good choice. Attack hard into the middle, who's in playing defense there. Castellano back in. Probably won't want to hit that same shot on him.
Arnold Paquette on the serve. His serve powerful. Delaware handles it. Matsudo sets, goes back to Delaware and down the line, and a good kill from Ruslan Delaware.
Delaware's had a few good passes here in a row. Haven't shouted them out as each has happened, but we'll give him a shout out now that this set has been a really good passing set for him. Really calm, collected. He's gotten his platform out there early, made sure he's angled it up so that it stays on our side. Done a really good job.
Matsudo's serve handled by Arnold Paquette. The set goes to Kelly on the far side through the hands of the block.
Can't tell if that was a miscommunication or just weird technique at the top there. I don't know. It snuck through in a weird way that looked like it was covered and it wasn't.
Fisher now back to serve. This serve works well for him. Matsudo one-handed set to Delaware. Out of the hands of multiple Wolves.
And that's why we've missed Matsudo. So that one-handed set is just so good that he can do that consistently. Seen him do it for a couple of years now here at the AWC, as well as on the road. I've had the pleasure of watching that one-handed set and just marveling at it many a time.
And if you've seen him do it multiple times, he will play that over the net every once in a while, so the Wolves cannot go up and try and block it.
The one I remember most is playoffs last year against St. Clair to finish the game.
Absolutely, and the look on his face when he dumped that over, he had no clue that it hit the floor.
Oh, I was in the gym and I thought live it did not hit the floor. I turns out I was very wrong and very happy to be so.
Castle serve handled by Castellano. Matsudo that one-handed set one more time, played over. The Wolves will set far side. It goes to Kelly. He swings and hammers that into the net. So the Colts take the point.
And why he's so good for a setter without, a ton of size for a men's game here. That's a second different one-handed set with totally different techniques. To be able to do that in 2 different ways consistently at both is so challenging, and just what brings, the pass that's kind of iffy into an actually good pass when Matsuda's the one setting it.
Charm serve handled by Arnold Paquette. The set goes into the middle to Rollins, and that's the reason why he's 5th in the OCAA in hitting percentage.
That makes sense, having the little I've watched this game. He is very effective when he's there, especially he's run that 30 there a few times now, and he's done a really good job of finding the seams of his block as he's done so. When you run that 30, you really are looking to just make movement in your blockers and then take advantage, and he's done a good job of that.
Zvoinovich will try and tip that over the net. Unable to do so.
Looked like the play was he was supposed to run something fast, and he just got a little too in and couldn't get back with his hips in stable position, and just puts everything out of whack.
Lucas Kelly on the serve. His serve is rolled out to the right, so the Colts will take the point and a 14-13 lead. Racingham's serve handled by Spence. The Wolves play a far side to Arnold Paquette off the hands of the block. Matsudo sets into the middle to Delaware, blocked at the net by Carl Rollins. That'll send Rollins back to serve here, tied at 14. His serve handled by Casalato. Matsudo goes to Zvoinovich off the body of Hassel. The Wolves unable to get to the ball. Wolves will make another substitution. Zvoinovich out, Delorme in to serve. Floated over, handled by Arnold Paquette. It goes back to Arnold Paquette off the hands of the block and out of play.
Actually kind of looked like that serve might have been staying up and going out of bounds, but it's so tough when it's within your reach not to just take it. Would have been interesting to see if that had been in or out, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Wolves get the point.
Victor Landry back on the serve. Landry serve is into the corner, a well-placed serve.
Seeing eye serve on that one. Woo!
Couldn't have been in a better spot for Victor Landry, who gets the service ace and gives the Wolves a lead.
Far enough up, far enough in that doesn't look like the linesperson can really make a mistake on it, and just perfectly in that corner.
Landry serves, handled by Delaware this time. Matsuda will set to Corby, just missed time to fire it out. The Wolves take another point.
Yeah, it looked like that set came a little bit wider than Corby was expecting there, and it just hit the inside, the inside of his hand instead of the whole hand.
So a couple mistakes forces Coach Jordan Timpson to take his first time out. A 17-15 lead for the Algonquin Wolves here in set number 2. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center, at 17-15 lead for the Algonquin Wolves as they try and knot this game up at 1. The service still goes to Victor Landry. His serve into the tape of the net.
Coach point, Jordan Timpson. There we go.
That's got to be the greatest feeling on the planet, a timeout into a service error.
That's what we live for as coaches. We got we get so many subs, but only 2 timeouts to try to score points. We get those points. We take those.
So the Colts make another substitution. Corpy out, Andrew Rose in. And he'll go back to serve. Rose's serve, handled by Spence. The set's going to go quickly into the middle, blocked by Ducharme, and that'll hit the roof here at the Athletic and Wellness Center.
Yeah, nice high roof, but if you push it that hard up there, it's going to get you.
Can you believe I didn't mention it once in your game this afternoon? I normally do. I didn't do it.
Let's go.
Rose's serve, that one's fired into the net. So 1 good serve, 1 error for Andrew Rose as he'll check out for Michael Corpy.
It's good to see Andrew kind of new role here and doing well with it. Oh, or they didn't sub in right.
Yeah, they didn't get the sub in right. He went through the wrong spot.
He just got to stay off instead of living out.
Arnold Paquette's serve is hammered a little bit too long, so we trade service errors. The Colts get the ball back. The Wolves will make a substitution. Arnold Paquette out. Coming in will be Ben Puskas.
Probably a serve reception focus sub here. See if they go after him if you're the Colts or if they stay away.
Matsudo goes to Kelly. He handles it well. A quick set into the middle from Ethan Fisher off the hands of the block and out of the reach of Castellato.
Well, with hindsight, maybe we should have tried him out. It seems that way. But either way, good job by the Wolves. See if the Colts can come right back. Middle's rotating around, and Rollins is back in to cause problems in the front row.
Fisher serve, handled by DeLorme. The set goes behind to Delaware. Rollins unable to get there for the block.
Yeah, he snuck in with coming forward, thinking it was coming out to the left side, and got burned a little bit on that one. See if he makes up with it by getting the set and getting the kill here.
Delaware on the serve, handled by Kelly. The set is going to go back to Kelly. Blocked at the net by Ducharme, but kept alive by the Wolves. A free ball played over. Castellato to Matsudo, goes to Thrasingham, and off the hands of the block. The set from Spence is going to go to Kelly. He'll play it. Castellato stops it. Matsudo sets to Zavoinovic, and a good point for the Colts and Milan Zavoinovic.
Just got a little chaotic in the middle of that rally. They ended up with their middle blocking on the outside and their outside blocking in the middle for the Wolves. Really good job of Castellano in the middle of that rally, picking up that deep one too. Really good body control to get that up in on target, is not just straight up.
The Wolves will go quick into the middle to Rollins, but he is just a little bit too far. It's a net ball, so the Wolves will take it.
Looked like Zavoinovic when he landed. Might not have been, but somebody hit the net at the bottom from the Colts.
It looks like we're going to talk about it. The net.
I thought I saw it live as well, but it's weird. I'm agreeing with the ref.
I wasn't sure. You're not used to it, eh?
It's a weird feeling.
Now that you're now up here and not on the court.
I mean, I tried to give the other team a point in our game, and he didn't listen to me. So
we're pulling the captains. This call might go back the other way if we're pulling the captains together.
I think it's more of a don't complain that way, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out when you find out.
A lot more of this conversation is really towards the Wolves, and absolutely. So the Colts do take the point on the replay. They must have called that the ball hit out of bounds before he touched the net. So he does.
Maybe.
It looked like Ducharme touches the net on his way down.
That would have explained the longer conversation too. Yeah, that makes sense. Just hit the ball too hard, too fast, you know.
And Delaware gives it right back to the Wolves, so an error for Delaware.
Coach Yella's probably saying, ball don't lie on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're not technically allowed to say it, but he's saying it on the inside for sure.
I mean, you're allowed to say it. You're just not allowed to yell it at the ref. You can say it to your own bench.
That's fair. Hassel serve handled by Zavoinovic. Matsudo gets all the way over there, and a free ball for the Wolves.
Or I should say, you can yell it at the ref. It just will cost you one yellow card. That is the price on that one.
That set goes quickly to Rollins off the hands of Castellato. He read it well, but unable to keep that ball up.
Rollins and both Colts middles have just been so ruthlessly effective when they're able to get the ball in this game. My middle heart is very happy.
We're stuck tied at 21 here in set number 2, a close second set. The Wolves have the serve. It goes to Hassel. He'll try and roll it over the net, but into the net he puts it, and the Colts retake the lead.
I only had the internal thought that it was now clutch time at 21-21, and then the net ball doesn't go over. Normally, it's only when I say it out loud that bad things happen.
Ducharme back to serve. His serve a good one. Hassel set's going to go quick to Rollins in the middle, and it works one more time for the Wolves.
In little things that almost no ref is going to call, it looked like the Wolves setter was actually on the out-of-bounds line at the start of that rally, which is technically an out-of-rotation violation. Have to see if that ever gets picked up or happens again. I don't know. I haven't seen him do it yet, but it's a very minor thing. But, you know, I'm a coach. We'd like minor things to yell about.
Anything to get a point your way. Don't worry. I get it.
No.
Kelly's serve handled by Delaware. Matsudo is going to set close side to Zavoinovic off the hands of Rollins and out of play. And a good place kill for Zavoinovic.
Yeah, they came over just such a sharp angle. It looked like it caught almost the back of the hand of Rollins. That's got to feel rough when you're the blocker and it just gets you in a weird way like that.
The Racingham serve handled by Arnold Paquette back into the game. So we're going to set to him. That's
really good job of using the middle to pull a blocker. Rollins pulled the Colts middle with him, but it doesn't make that much of a difference if the hit goes into the net.
I've fooled my eyes a little bit. I thought that got onto the side of the Colts and they just weren't tight to the net, but runs the way of the Colts. So set point Centennial.
Sometimes it's so hard to tell with those ones at the net, whether they got blocked onto which side, et cetera, et cetera.
Set from Hassel goes to Arnold Paquette, dug out by Castellato.
Good comeback swing there.
A free ball goes to the Wolves. Hassel has to fight for it to Rollins in the middle. Castellato, Matsudo, back set to racing him off the hands of the block, and the Wolves keep it alive. Arnold Paquette loses the battle. The Wolves have it back. It'll go back to Arnold Paquette. Triple block. And it looks like it's to the Colts point. Matsudo was raising his hand saying he touched that ball.
Full credit to the Colts there. The ref said no touch, and the Colts were very honest and said, yes, we did touch that.
Absolutely. So Matsudo, of course, using the respect. The Colts do not get the point. Matsudo a little bit too nice. Could have had the point and the set, but the Wolves have the ball.
It was crappy. I saw it do it, so they were both on it.
Matsudo will go quickly into the middle to Corpy, so that mistake does not matter.
So the two of them who were too nice get it right back. See, it was good karma, good karma.
So the Colts take set number 2 by a score of 25-23 and now have a chokehold 2-0 set lead here at the Athletic and Wellness Center. On the other side of the break, we'll have set 3 for you. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center for set number 3 as the Colts lead it 2-0. Michael Matsudo will get us started. Matsudo's serve handled well by Spence. The set's going to go to the back. Nobody to block, but handled by Zavoinovic. Matsudo sets to Theresium. I believe that's going to be called a lift on the set by Matsudo.
It probably was, but given some of the stuff they let go on the doubles earlier, it feels a little inconsistent, but I guess it is a different call.
It was on the iffy side, but I'll go the way of the refs.
I like this official. I'll let him away with it.
Nunez Cruz serve handled by the Colts. The racing him powerful into the block and out, so the Colts will take the point. Deloire's serve handled by Arnold Paquette. The set's going to go to Abdelaziz. Tipped at the net by Theresium. The Colts keep the ball. Bosco plays it over the net. So the Wolves will play it back over. Deloire handles it well. Theresium to the middle. Blocked at the net by Rollins and out of the reach of a sprawling Ruslan Deloire. Back to serve is Gavin Hassel. One of the highlights for the Algonquin Wolves this year, 5th in aces per set in the OCAA, as well as 4th in assists per set is Gavin Hassel. So one of the better setters in the league. Hassel serve handled by Deloire. Matsudo sets far side to Zavoinovic. Just tipped over the net. The Wolves will set far side over everybody, but the Colts will take the point as that's just a little bit too far on that attempted kill from Nick Barber.
Colts letting the line be their extra defender on that one. Just letting that go and hoping it just misses. Luckily, they were right.
Ducharme serve. He'll fire that into the net, giving the points right back to the Wolves and an early 3-2 lead for Algonquin.
Colts did a much better job of their serving in set 2. Seems like set 3 we might be on a bad trend again, but hopefully I'm wrong on that.
Abdelaziz fires his serve into the net, so we'll trade service errors and give the ball right back to the Colts for AJ Theresium.
In the court. Let's go. I know, I'm the last one who can talk. My team leads the league in missed serves. I know. I'm very aware of who we are. My bad.
I've got no words for that. AJ Theresium will also fire his serve into the net, so 3 straight errors.
Turns out the chanting did not help. It's all right. This is men's volleyball for you. Sometimes you go through those moments, but you need the power to create the chaos.
Rollins serve handled by the Colts. Quickly set to Corpy on the far side, and it works out well one more time for Matsudo.
The play of these guys is just so high. Right? You'll see a serve like that it's in the court, but a little bit softer, and just so quickly is right back down for a kill. That's why you're willing to take the missed serves and go for the power.
Zavoinovic floats it over. Arnold Paquette sets to Hassel. Hassel set, played over the net by Nunez Cruz. Colts get the ball back. It goes to Theresium. They'll roll it over. The set by the Wolves. Back to Nunez Cruz off the hands of Corpy, and a point for the Wolves.
I think that first block in that rally, it looked like Corpy's hand got a little bit jammed. He does have it taped, and he's playing around with it, but he didn't transition on that first one, and it looked like he was messing with that hand.
Yeah, shaking it off, playing with the thumb a little bit. Keep an eye on it. He'll be all right, though. The serve, Deloire handles it. The serve goes back. Sorry, the set goes back to Deloire off the hands of the block of Hassel. Corby back to serve. See how the hand goes first hand right here.
Yeah, he's still playing with that thumb. Interesting to see if he makes a trip to our wonderful ATs while he's got a little bit of time on the bench coming here in a second.
Matsudo will play that over. Arnold Paquette tries the quick kill, but just a little bit too far, and the Colts will take the point.
If for whatever reason he can't go, I believe it would be Philip Jarosi coming in for the Colts. Had a couple really good plays last week. It'd be interesting to see if he could do the same if he got some reps here, but obviously we're hoping everything is fine with that thumb, and he's going to shake it off real quick here. Oh, didn't hurt him on that one.
As we say that, it looks like Nathan Hara is on the bike getting warm just in case, so maybe it's Hara coming in.
I don't think Hara's played middle yet. That would be interesting.
It would be interesting, but the only guy kind of getting warm on the bike.
Good attacker, good attacker. That'd be interesting to see. I'd be very curious how that would go.
Corpy's still back to serve. It looks like it's doing well. 3 straight serves, 3 straight good ones. Another good one off the body of Abdelaziz into the basketball net up in our rafters. And now a 3-point lead for the Colts.
He's not giving me much confidence looking at him and playing with his thumb and his shoulder in between, but it's sure going well.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't care. A little bit of pain, he doesn't matter to him. He'll just float one over. Spence plays that. The set's going to go to Arnold Paquette. Blocked at the net by Ducharme. And the Colts take another point and extend their lead.
Get a long rally like this with your middle serving. It's always excellent. No lib, no problem.
So the Wolves will take a timeout early here in set number 3. A 9-5 lead for the Centennial Colts. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. A 9-5 lead for the Colts in set number 3 as Michael Corpy has the serve. Handled by Arnold Paquette. It goes to Matsudo, and finally he'll get the kill he wants, Michael Matsudo.
What a rocket of a serve out of a timeout on that one. Normally you go easy out of a timeout and just make sure you get it in, and he didn't get that memo.
He didn't care.
That was a bullet.
Maybe he saw Mr. Hara sitting on the bike and said, not a chance are you coming into the game. They'll do it again, handled by Abdelaziz. Pushed back over the net by Delaware. That hit a lot of people. It'll be a point for the Colts on the 2-ton.
Yeah, that kind of got stuck in his shoulder. That was an interesting one. Don't see that one every day. What a run with the middle serving. Oh, those are heartbreakers if you're the other team too, because every time you look back, you're like, it's still the middle.
He'll fire that one, and finally they move out of the way.
Don't want to miss any, but that's if you're going to miss, that's the way to do it. Nice rocket, just missing the corner.
It was a good leave in the backcourt by Barber.
If the cut that had on it, it might have been a hopeful leave as well.
Sends back Arnold Paquette on the serve. His serve is into the net, so the Wolves just can't get any momentum going.
I don't have stats in front of me, but I feel like he's missed quite a few now in this game.
I wish we had the stats. Tough to do live stats.
It is very tough to do live stats, yeah. He's had a good game, especially attacking in the front row, but it feels to me, just from feel, like he's had a bit of a rougher day on the service line. Very good, aggressive serves every time, so you don't hate to see him miss, but you're starting to add up.
Matsudo sets to Thrasingham, goes cross-court off the hands of Barber. And a well-placed kill from AJ Thrasingham.
This is where you want to see, if you're a Colts fan, them really put the pedal to the metal. Right now, they got you out of your long rotation. You don't want to slow down at all.
Matsudo, the quick serve, as he always does. Pushed back over the net by Delaware.
Matsudo looks like he's indicating he might need a sub.
Yeah, he might need somebody. He's grabbing at his calf. He didn't jump on that serve. It looks like he's going to exit the game. And hopefully he is fine. That is something you do not want for the Colts.
We've got game time Ruiz coming in here. I call him that since literally every time I see him, he asks me if it's game time. So that is now his name in my book.
So they will make that substitution. Matsuda will head over to the ATs. Hopefully he's all right, but coming in for the Colts is Christian Don Ruiz.
It looks like it might be, obviously very hard to speculate, but it looks like it might be a cramp looking at how they're kind of treating and how he's holding it.
Yeah, they're just stretching out a cramp is what it looks like.
Yeah,
the typical soccer stretch. So hopefully he's all right, but we get back into the action as the Wolves set to Abdelaziz. He'll tip it over.
Always tough for hands to come in cold, but hopefully we got some good ones here from Christian.
The Wolves send 3 blockers and execute the 3 block very well. Get the point. It's Mateo Nunez Cruz on the serve. Floated over. Ducharme, the racing him, sets far side to Delaware. He'll tip it over. Delaziz keeps it alive. It'll go quickly into the middle to Rawlings off the hand of Ducharme.
Really good recognition on that block by Abdelaziz to get down and get back off the net and get that in your hands, up and clear off the net where we can get offense going again. Really good job there by the blocker.
Serve from Nunez Cruz. Mishandled by Zavoinovic. The Colts keep it alive. Castellato plays it over. The quick set into the middle to Rollins. Power to home again off the hands of Zavoinovic.
Rollins is really impressive as an attacker. From the team I remember, I know I worked commentary for one of the Wolves games last year. I remember they had, I think, 2 different middles who were very, very tall and very aggressive, and it seems like either he was already there or it has been back and just continuing that tradition of big, strong middles at Algonquin.
See the Wolves bench yelling a little bit on every single set. Maybe thinking about a 2-touch, but Timpson doesn't like the look for the Colts, so he will take his first time out.
When it's a new setter, sometimes you're just trying to get in their head with the sets too. That's definitely a strategy that can work.
Absolutely, and it probably is, to be fair. I'm sure Christian wasn't looking to come into this game, but forced to hop into a tough scenario in set number 3. But we'll head to break, a short little break as the Colts lead 14-10 in set number 3. We are back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center after a short break. A 14-10 Colts lead in set number 3 as Nunez Cruz gets us started back up. Castellato to Ruiz, goes to Thrasingham off the hands of the block, and the Wolves have a chance. They'll back set to Landry off the hands of Ruiz. And the Wolves start to attack against the new player on the court for the Colts and Ruiz.
Didn't come off as a point, but seemed like the team came out of that timeout a lot more settled down, a lot more ready to go. You know, got to give my coaches a prop when we're up here, and I thought it seemed like the team came out and responded really well to Jordan's timeout there.
Ruiz goes quick to the middle. Was it touched on the block? It was touched on the block by Rollins, and a point for the Colts.
Yeah, I'm confused by the complaints on that.
Yeah, it looked like it was touched at the net.
I don't know.
Can we roll that back, Producer Leo? We did not. We weren't looking at it.
No, he already ran it back. I missed it.
I missed everything. See if he gets a touch on it. That's a tough look. I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that went off the outside of his left hand.
I'm sure this won't get changed anyways. It'll just be a discussion to not change it. Point for the Colts, and Delaware will serve.
Those are really tough to overrule, too, if you're the official. That's what did you see differently, right? That's the tough one.
Delaware serve off the hands of Arnold Paquette. It goes to the table. Played well by the Wolves, and that one is played out by Landry. Zavoinovic ducks to get out of the way.
That one scared me from up here, I'm not going to lie.
Looked like he had placed that very well behind the Colts defense, but just a little bit too far outside.
Zavoinovic in a better spot to see it, and with better eyes than me, I think.
Off the tip of the block of Zavoinovic, so the Wolves will take the point back. They try and fight their way back here in set number 3.
So it's interesting blocking-wise. The Colts are being very aggressive at making sure they always get 3. Oh, Matsudo is back. I'll pin my thought for another moment.
That's a welcome sight. Matsudo back in, so it was just a cramp. He's all good.
Hopefully it's feeling good and ready to go here.
Castellato goes to Matsudo, one-handed set. Unable to do so. I believe it was a touch on the net.
Yeah. He can help you out a lot with the one-handed sets, but sometimes they're just a little too tough on the over. Probably should have let that one go and faked it, but it's so tough as a setter to let that go when you know you're good at one-handed sets.
Yeah, and if you let it go, you probably have a middle like Rollins ready to put that back down in your face. As I say that, he blocks at the net from Rollins.
That one looked a little personal to him after the one that rolled off that he wasn't sure if he touched.
Yeah, he hit the too small little basketball.
I think he was just showing how big his block hands were, but I don't know.
Matsuda will back set to Thoracicum, tipped over Abdelaziz. The set goes far side to Landry off the hands of Castellato. Zavoinovic plays a free ball over. That's going to be out. A little missed touch from Zavoinovic as the Wolves take the point.
Those are killers for morale. And obviously Coach Jordan thinks so too, as he's going to come bring them back in and get them back settled down.
Yeah, so the Wolves take a little bit of momentum, a couple mistakes from the Colts, pushing this game to a 1-point lead for the Centennial Colts here in set number 3.
Back 16-15 coming out of timeout. Colts have now used both of theirs, and we'll see how they respond to the second one now that Matsudo is back. Seems better, and see what they can get going on offense. I'd love to see them go after the middle here. Bosco Ducharme has had a really good start to the game. Has gotten a little bit quiet of late. Love to see if they go back there and reinvigorate that middle. Don't go to the middle, but Zavoinovic sure helps out. Ducharme back to serve, brings in Karapi back to the front row. See if they go reestablish middle now with him there. Ducharme serving in a little different position than he normally does. Looks like he was really targeting a spot there. Well, didn't need a set, but he got the party. Reestablish middle off the opposing passing works as well. See if Ducharme goes back to that new spot or not. Yeah, going out back to 5 here. See if that's targeting that lid spot again. Well, he did, just, 6 feet deep of it. But, getting out of there, at least one good play out of the middle serving is not too bad. Big serve coming back from the Wolves here. See how the Colts respond. All right.
Back to serve for the Wolves is Abdelaziz.
Looks like the Colts have still just lost a little bit of energy. I'd love to see a big middle swing that they can celebrate really hard off of.
That serve from Abdelaziz rolled just a little bit too far. Colts take the point and back up by 2, 19-17.
Ace would do the same. I feel like they just really need one play that they can super celebrate here just to pop the energy back up as they look to finish this game.
Thoracicum serve handled well. The Wolves set to the close side. Arnold Paquette and a powerful swing from Arnold Paquette.
Such explosive hits when things go well in men's volleyball. Sometimes there's just no defending it.
No, I don't think there was a way you get in the way of that.
If you do, it's going to hurt.
Matsudo sets to Thoracicum, blocked at the net. Colts retry. They go to the far side to Zavoinovic, but on his swing, he'll touch the net. And the Wolves will take the point and tie it up at 19.
Yeah, a little confusion getting Matsudo in to set that ball cleanly. Looked like AJ was just a little bit in his way, didn't mean to, but led to that set being a little bit tight.
But Rollins back to serve. Delaware handles it. Matsudo tries to go quickly to Corby. It's played over the net, though, by the Colts. The Wolves will set. Arnold Paquette played over. Corby keeps it alive. Delaware will set to Zavoinovic. He's got it played over the net, and he does it. The Wolves try it again. Goes to Landry out of the reach and off the hands of Wrestling Delaware.
Couple sets in the last couple rallies that aren't up to Matsudo's normally excellent standard. Just a little bit tight, putting his hitters in trouble. Don't know if it's, residual of just feeling a little bit weird on that one leg or not, but look to see him bounce back here, and he does.
Matsudo's set goes to Zavoinovic, but his hit into the net. So the Wolves now have a little bit of momentum. It's 21-19 Algonquin.
So that was much more what I think he wanted, but unfortunately didn't have the finish at the end.
Rollins serves. Delaware handles it again. Matsudo will set to Thrasingham just out of the reach. Wilma played over the net. Abdelaziz sets Arnold Paquette. 3 blockers off the hand of Zavoinovic. Matsudo will set Zavoinovic. It goes to the far side off the hands of Nunez Cruz. They'll set backside to Landry off the hands of Zavoinovic. A smart play from Victor Landry.
Few plays here where Zavoinovic is struggling just a little bit. Be interesting to see if, Coach Timpson is potentially thinking about another option on the bench or if he's trusting his guy. I feel like he's going to trust him, but we'll see how it goes.
Up 2 sets to none. I'm sure he'll ride him out for at least this set as the Wolves have a chance with Arnold Paquette. He rolls it over. Delaware keeps it alive. Goes to Thrasingham off the hands of the block. And Thrasingham finally gets a point for the Colts, and they're back into it.
Thrasingham didn't look like he trusted he was actually behind the line on that hit. I think he was fine, but he seemed a little bit stressed out about it after.
So as we mentioned, so Delorme will come in to serve. Zavoinovic will take a seat.
A little different than I was thinking in terms of sub, but just a nice little back row sub. Why not use the second lib when you've got him, right? Really good job of waiting until he gets the back row.
And Delorme comes in and fires his serve into the net.
Said too many nice things. Said one too many nice things.
And it looks like Delorme's going to stay into the game for the service reception.
Yeah, he'll stay in and pass for sure. Really strong passer is Delorme, so.
Go to Landry on the serve. 3-point lead for the Wolves as Matsudo sets. Delaware over everybody. Nobody touched it, but it lands in. A good smart play for Rustlin Delaware to keep the Colts in it.
Ooh, just ticks the line. I thought it was out live, but I thought it touched live, and that's why we don't trust our live eyes.
Corby serve. He'll fire that into the net.
Couple really badly timed missed serves here.
Yeah, just not the right time, as that will force the Wolves into set point Algonquin.
Colts really just lost their energy and momentum in the middle of this set, and they never really got it back yet. Have to see if they can find it real quick here. All my talk of his missed serves, he gets a really good one here.
Off the hands of the block from Delaware. Will battle at the net. Delaware wins it. Back to the Wolves. The set goes to Abdelaziz. It looked like it was off the hands of the block, and it was, so the Wolves will take the point and take set number 3.
Colts looking for a lift. I don't think you're going to get that call here.
Not at this point. Not there, I guess.
Yeah.
The Wolves will take set number 3 and force a 4th set after they win this one 25-21.
Free volleyball.
With that being said, we'll step aside. I got to get a drink of water after running around. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have set number 4. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center, Jack Middleton alongside Andrew Mallory for set number 4 between the Algonquin Wolves and the Centennial Colts. I believe the Wolves will have the first serve, and it'll be Liam Arnold Paquette. Arnold Paquette on the serve. Handled by Deloire, not well though. DeLorme in now at libero as it'll be played over.
Ooh, that's an interesting. Are they going double? Oh, Castellanos is in at left side, it looks like.
So they make the quick little switch to get Castellato into a service spot.
Interesting. I like it. I like it.
Quick little change up. That gives us a pretty good time to talk about the missing Gianluca Rigetto. Of course, he is not back on the team here in semester 2. We're all probably pretty sad about missing Gianluca Rigetto, but being able to get Castellato back into a swinging spot, I think he's one of the best servers in the OCAA when he's on. So get him back into that spot and still being able to trust a libero like Caden DeLorme.
Yeah, it's a big sign of trust for DeLorme here, in that, you can handle all the duties. I know he's been more of a servicey focused libero most of this season, but real sign of his growing maturity with the team. And I guess I was right when I said he might look to not go with Savojnovic. Unfortunate for Milan. I'm sure he's got better days ahead, but a little bit of change up here.
Set goes to Deloire. It's tipped and kept alive by the Wolves. Tipped over the net. Matsudo keeps it alive. DeLorme will set, racing him off the hands of Arnold Paquette.
Really good body control to get so much power behind that one.
Deloire back to serve for the Colts. His serve rolled over. Arnold Paquette handles it. The set's going to go into the middle, out of the reach of everybody. Just miscommunication from Rollins and Din in the middle. Deloire, another good serve off the tape. Mishandled by Nakashima. Couple new faces for the Algonquin Wolves.
We saw a little of Nakashima near the end of that last set and really kind of settled their serve receive, so it looks like they're on the same route here.
An error there from Deloire. His serve just off to the right, giving the ball back to the Wolves. Din on the serve. He fires that over. Matsudo's set will go to Castellato, tipped over the net. Din goes quickly into the middle to Rollins, and they continue to use it, and it keeps working. Another good serve from Din. Castellato serve. The set goes to Thrasingham, and he powers that off the hands of the blockers, and a point for the Colts. Sending Bosco Ducharme back to the line to serve.
If we get a free ball here for the Colts, I'd be interested to see what they run with Castellato. Unfortunately, that is definitely not a free ball. That is a very costly ball.
That thing is powered home by Abdelaziz.
Just looked like Castellano and Matsudo have a little more of a conversation there, and I think this is the first time they've played together with Castellano as a hitter outside of practice in a while. So,
I believe Castellato played a little bit.
He was hitting
on
some
the outside
last
with
week.
Loyalist.
Yes, but Matsudo wasn't here, right?
Yeah, Matsudo wasn't here, so maybe back to practice or last year when Castellato would play on the outside. Get a little bit of chemistry going as Castellato talks to the ref one more time.
Yeah, Castellano obviously very flexible positionally. He was a setter at a previous institution before coming, and Matsudo was here, so he moved out to left side for a while, done some lib work. Very flexible in terms of what he can do. Has a lot of very high-level traits and really good captain for the squad.
As he has the block at the net, but unable to redirect it into play, and the Wolves will take the point. Wolves now up 2 early on in set number 4 as Abdelaziz back to serve. His serve is fired out. He wants that to be in, but it looked out on our, and it was out on our look.
Yeah, it didn't look too close to me. Obviously, not too far off, but don't think that's when you're going to win that fight.
Racingham rolls over his serve, but Abdelaziz goes to Din.
Ooh, a little one-handed block.
At the net. That was Michael Corpy at the net. Showing off his blocking skills. He is 3rd in the OCAA in blocks per set, and that is exactly why.
So that was a true one-handed. He only put the left up. So either he was hoping to not get tooled off that right hand, or he was trying to protect his thumb, and I'm not sure which. I think it was the performer of trying to not give him something to tool off of, but potentially something to watch. Might be nothing. Who knows? Well, he knows. But yeah, outside of him.
Carl Rollins back to serve. He'll fire his serve into the net. His first error on the day.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent with the serves. Excellent in front row as well. They'll be looking forward to getting him back around.
Now we get to see Castellato on the serve as we're tied at 8.
Ooh.
Off the tape, kept up well by Abdelaziz, but a free ball for the Colts. Matsudo quickly to Corpy. He touches it over the net, off the hands of a diving Nakashima, and the Colts take the lead.
Yeah, really good adjustment to a set that was definitely lower than intended there. Really good job by on the serve of a little change up there. And Castellano normally goes for the big fastball, but had a little change up. And we'll just get a little floor wipe here.
A little water on the dive from Abdelaziz on that service reception.
They're working hard. Got some sweat going.
Our wonderful game day staff getting the mop going. Gotta shout them out. They're out here working hard.
And we appreciate it.
As we'll get back going with the serve from Castellato. Serve from Castellato, he'll fire that into the net.
So close to an ace, but unfortunately that just ends the rally right off the start. Oh,
we're gonna have a little discussion. I didn't catch why.
I think a little bit of chirping, but I'm not sure.
A little friendly chirp.
As long as it's friendly.
Again, looks like this conversation is going more the way of the Wolves. There we go. We're all good. We'll have a laugh, a couple of touches, and we're ready to go.
I don't think they thought they did anything wrong there. They were having a laugh and having a fun time with each other. They were just enjoying the day. Coaches are laughing too now.
Landry gets us going again. Matsudo sets quickly to Corpy, and a powerful kill by Michael Corpy.
Heck of a spot on that finish too. Jeez. Yeah, that will do.
Cannot react fast enough was Victor Landry. Rightfully so. I don't even think I would get a dive on.
Yeah.
I guarantee that, actually.
If you gave me 10 tries to dig that one, I might get a foot touch on one, and that's it.
Maybe by mistake. There's a chance it just hits me in the foot. That might be it.
Yeah, it would have been about 4 of them where I felt in fear, and then one I start sticking the foot out. Realize I can't get it with my hands.
That last serve from the Colts was as tight as possible to the lines, but called out, so the Wolves get the ball, and it'll be Arnold Paquette on the serve.
Really good adjustment to a toss a little farther into the court than I think he intended.
The Wolves have the ball back. The set's going to go to Abdelaziz, blocked at the net by Matsudo. Wolves get it back. Din will set, this time to Landry. Castellato keeps it. Matsudo quickly to Ducharme in the middle. We go back and forth as Din will set. Abdelaziz. Matsudo keeps it alive. I believe they're going to call a lift on that.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of stopped a little bit. I know what Matsudo was trying, and I don't blame him for being a little annoyed, but it did seem like it stopped for a second there.
If he doesn't do that, that ball's hitting the floor anyways.
Yeah, so might as well.
Might as well give it a try.
Abdelaziz has been really effective with his strong attacks this game as well. We spent more of our time talking about Rollins, but full credit to number 15 on the Wolves for swinging hard and swinging fast and really being smart about hitting recycle balls off blocks and things like that.
Yeah, and probably the leader for the Algonquin Wolves, a 5th year.
Yeah, he's been the captain as well, so I would hazard a guess that is right. I'm not in the building, but it would seem evident that way.
The quick set goes to Nunez. Cruz off the hands of Ducharme and out of play. The Wolves take the point and now have a 12-11 lead.
Nunez Cruz has been a little quieter, but gets a nice big kill before going back to serve. Rollins is back in that front row.
The serve off the body of Delorme. Castellato will set it, goes to Delaware. He'll tip it over the net, and a touch at the net by Abdelaziz.
Didn't see it live, but
back the other way. It doesn't look that way. I'm sure we're not going to get a replay on that.
No, that's a real issue. Have to get a replay on. Basically, I need the camera on the antenna to see that properly.
Yeah, we'll work on that for next year, producer Leo. We'll work on that.
It's probably an expensive piece of tech. I'm not going to lie.
Especially attaching it to the stick, we're definitely losing that camera at least.
Oh, the amount we hit the antenna, yeah, it's in trouble. It better be sturdy. I'm not recommending it. It just would be the angle we would need.
Din back to serve for the Wolves. A quick serve, probably out, but Delaware keeps it alive. And the set is out of the reach of Ducharme, so the Wolves will take the point.
Interesting to see here that the Wolves at the net are really kind of arranging their stack in terms of trying to take away some vision from the Colts. Doing it in a legal way, like it's not what they're doing is wrong, but really making sure they can arrange that so they can get over top. You know, their hands are, at their head or below, which is what you need to look for. And Rollins' hands on that were well above his head for the nice block, and you're not allowed to do that, but it is what it is. A little celebration. It's fine. It's fine. Gave his assistant coach some love.
So the Wolves have got all the momentum right now in this game. As I say that, Din throws that one into the net.
Karma for my small thing of issue. I feel justified. I'm happy.
I don't know if you can call it a commentator's curse this time. It was on the wrong team, so I'll take it.
Isn't that like commentator's blessing, I guess?
I guess. We'll go with that. The Colts make a substitution. See Andrew Rose back to serve as Bosco Ducharme will take a seat. Abdelaziz handles the serve. The set's going to go far side to Landry. He'll tip it past the outstretched dive of Michael Matsudo, so another point for the Wolves.
If we can learn to harness the commentator's blessing of making missed serves on the other team, I think I'm coming up here for our games.
And that substitution back reversed. Rose out. Ducharme back in.
Oh, jeez.
And then take over right for the libero, and he'll go back. Abdelaziz on the serve. His serve a good one. Delorme handles it, though. The set goes to Castellato. The first time we see him swing, it's just a bit out. The Wolves take the point and now add to their lead.
Looked like he was hunting to try to get a finger there and just didn't quite get the block over far enough for him to get it.
Abdelaziz's serve is fired just a little bit too far into the Colts bench, and the Colts will finally end the run. Abdelaziz will exit the game here. That kind of surprises me a little bit.
Starting to get to the point where a long weekend of a road trip might be getting to Algonquin a little bit. Of course, they faced George Brown last night. The girls' game went 5, their game went 4. A lot of volleyball played. Long trip down from Toronto, hotel stay, everything. We're starting to see a few missed serves, and, it's understandable on a hard road trip like that.
Absolutely. So Ben Puskas will come in and take over for him as Arnold Paquette's kill is dug very well by the Colts. Masudo will set back to Castellato, rolled over. Arnold Paquette with the dig. It'll set to Arnold Paquette with one blocker. Nobody able to dig that for the Colts.
Really good first dig in that rally by Castellano. That's the interesting part whenever you got someone who can kind of play lib and left side. You can get a little different on that front row defense when you pull them back, and just adds a little different dimension. We definitely explored that last year a little bit more so than this year, but it's very interesting as an attacker when you're facing that.
Served by Rollins, handled by the Colts. A quick set into the middle to Corapi, and I believe we're going to call that a two-touch. I'm not sure who that's on, to be 100% honest with you, but the Colts will take a timeout, now down by 5 in set number 4, as the Wolves lead it 19-14. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center in set number 4, as Carl Rollins will get us started. Off the hands of DeLorme, stays away from the roof. That one does as well, as Castellato will free ball it over the net. Again, will go far side to Arnold Paquette, tipped over the hands of Matsudo and out of the reach of Thrasingham.
Castellano, I think, trying to be really tricky to hit the setter on that one, just a little short over and try to make them go out of system. Didn't quite work. Middle was aware enough to get over and take that and help their setter out.
Rollins serve. Everybody backs away from it, and it will land on the back line, so an ace for Carl Rollins. Rollins serves, so an ace followed by an error from Rollins. Gives the ball back to the Colts, who have to build some momentum if they want to get back into set number 4. Castellato on the serve. His serve a good one, handled. One touch set goes to Landry, played back over by the Colts. Matsudo plays it. Nakashima to Din, goes back to Landry, blocked at the net by Delaware. A nice diving sprawl from Puskas, but unable to keep it on his side of the floor, and the Colts take the point. Castellato's serve handled well by Puskas. The set will go to the far side to Nunez, cruising out of the reach. What a play by Matsudo.
Castellato with a nice pickup. Matsudo seeing that everyone was pulled up. Really good job of pushing that to the back corner.
That's the volleyball knowledge of Michael Matsudo. What a play to take the point for the Colts, and it's going to force the Algonquin Wolves to take a timeout, as the Colts have battled back, only down by 4, 21-17 in set number 4. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center, as Pedro Castellato will get us restarted with a 21-17 Algonquin lead. Castellato serve another good one. Nakashima off the hands. Arnold Paquette, and a free ball for the Colts. Thrasingham.
Over.
A little miscommunication between Thrasingham, Castellato, and everybody else on the floor, and the Wolves take advantage.
Excuse my phantom moment there. That was definitely close to an over. I don't have the best angle, but that's a tough one. I'd definitely be trying to get that if I was the Colts coach, personally.
Landry serve. DeLorme handles it this time. Matsudo sets to Delaware. Off the hands of the block, but over the net, out of the reach of Arnold Paquette.
Oh.
Michael Corpy now to serve.
Matsudo looking a little frustrated here. It's rare to see him kind of get in that mood.
Again, sets Arnold Paquette. And it was a good dig by Castellato, but just out of the reach. It was too powerful off the hands of Pedro.
Stick together, Colts. Stick together. Don't fight each other.
We got a little bit of frustration between everybody on the floor. Looks like Nathan Hara is going to come into the game. Who's he subbing out? AJ Thrasingham is going to come out of the game.
AJ didn't chase that ball down. Looks like coach is also not happy. If I had to guess, AJ will come back to start the 5th, but a message sent.
Arnold Paquette on the serve. His serve off the tape. Dug out by Delaware. It's going to set to Delaware. Through the block, dug out by Landry. They'll set over to the far side to Abdelaziz, out of the reach of a diving Pedro Casalato, and a set point for the Algonquin Wolves.
If you can get it here, I'd be very interested in Matsudo going to Hara, seeing if he can get that back row attack going, and just something that Wolves haven't seen and probably aren't going to be forcing themselves into blocking in this scenario. It'll be interesting to see if he goes that way. Or he doesn't have to.
Arnold Paquette's toss was just a little bit too short, forcing him to change up his motion and firing that into the net, so the Colts stay alive, and it gives it back to Michael Matsudo. Abdelaziz then goes back to Abdelaziz off the hands of the block and to the floor on the side of the Colts. So the Algonquin Wolves win set number 4 and force a decisive 5th set. So we will take a quick break as the captains will flip to see who gets the first serve. We will take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have the 5th set. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center for set number 5. We had to flip the floor. A couple lineup changes for the Colts. We'll get to that here in a second as we get started. The set off the hands of Casalato goes back to the Wolves. They'll set right back to Arnold Paquette out of the reach of a diving Casalato, and the Wolves get the opening point.
Zavoinovic is back in for your Colts in Castellano's spot as he moves back to Lib, and we've got Hara coming in at right side.
A couple of changes. They took the Racingham out in the back end of the fourth set. We thought he might come back in, but Nathan Hara takes over for him. Maybe just a little bit of different look, get some new energy back in as Matsudo's got to try and get to that ball. He can't do it, and another point for the Wolves.
Hara brings a little more offense for sure. He's got a really big arm and things like that. He has struggled a little bit with, consistency of his blocking this year, but he is very good when he's on with it, and is someone I would like to bet on having a good set here.
The serve from Arnold Paquette. Castellano digs it out. Matsudo's going to set behind him. Delaware off the hands of the block. And a point for the Wolves. I believe they're calling Delaware to be on the wrong side of the net.
Yeah, he ended up under the net within the antenna. It's unfortunate. It was a really smart swing. Just landed in a position that's not legal for safety reasons.
It goes back to Arnold Paquette. Another botched throw from Arnold Paquette. That's probably the second or third time he's done that on his serve.
Yeah, he's been up and down today. He's been a bit of a journey on his serves. When they're good, they're good. When it's a little off, it's a little off. And again, you'll take those sometimes if you can be aggressive with them.
Delaware's serve handled by Nakashima. The set goes to Abdelaziz. The Wolves struggling with it, and it's going to be a free ball for the Colts. Castellato, Matsudo goes behind him to Hara, and his kill just a little bit too far. The Wolves take the point.
Thought I saw a touch live, but I guess not. It doesn't look like the Colts are looking for it, so I was wrong there.
On the replay, it looks like the ball rotationally didn't change, so maybe there wasn't a touch.
Yeah, I'm okay being wrong once in a while.
One or the other.
Hara had a really good block earlier in that rally. Just kind of missed on his swing. Hopefully he gets another chance here to put one away.
Looked like maybe he tried to rush the swing a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was trying to push it off the hands, and the hands didn't quite materialize how he was hoping.
The serve by Nunez Cruz handled well. The set goes to Zavoinovic, and it's out on the Colts side. A good lead from Castellato and Zavoinovic.
Yeah, it looked like Castellato pulled Zavoinovic out of that and made the read for him. Ducharme back to serve. Have to see if the Wolves take advantage of that on defense.
Good serve, dug out well. Din off the hands of Delaware. He keeps it alive. Matsudo sets to Zavoinovic off the body of Rollins at the net, and a point for the Colts.
Really good body control to get down and use that vertical range to scoop that ball off the floor there by Delaware.
That serve from Ducharme is fired into the net, giving the ball back to the Wolves.
Middles from the Colts have gone a little bit quiet as the game's gone on. Of course, they started out really strong in set 1 and 2. I'd love to see if they can get back there and get them going again. Michael Karapi up right now. See if he can get going. Tough pass for that. But Zavoinovic takes care of it.
So a 5-4 Algonquin Wolves lead here in set number 5. Nathan Hara goes back to serve.
I'm starting to feel the tension in the building on this one. This one's a tight one.
Hara's serve off the hands of Arnold Paquette. Nakashima goes to Abdelaziz. It was a good set from Nakashima. The Colts get it back. It goes to Zavoinovic. Arnold Paquette, and a touch at the net by the block of Abdelaziz.
Assistant Coach Scott up and celebrating that one boisterously. Really good job by Hara. First serve being in set 5 is tough because you haven't served since warm-up. Making sure he got that first one in. Hopefully he stays consistent here, even after the shoe tying. Admittedly quite slow on the shoe tie here. That was definitely a half stall, half shoe tie, but that's okay.
Everybody on his side of the floor giving him claps for.
It's legal. It's legal.
But we get started again with Hara's. His serve goes over, and the stall works.
Sorry, commentator's curse. I know. I did it. I did it.
You get used to it eventually, but.
I'm choosing to blame the shoelace instead.
Yeah, we'll blame Darren Din on that one, on the shoelace stall.
Just so it's not my fault.
Abdelaziz back on the serve. His serve is fired out. So another service error for the Wolves and Abdelaziz. He'll exit the game for Ben Puskas. The Colts will also make a substitution. Caden DeLorme will come in for Milan Zavoinovic.
DeLorme back to his DS role after taking a foray into libero. Looking for him to get some nice serve receives here while he's in the back.
Serve from DeLorme is floated over the backside, so that's the second time he's come in as the DS and unable to land in play. So DeLorme another error, and the Wolves have the point.
I made very sure not to mention the serve. I only said something about passing.
So worried about it now. I love it.
Oh, I'm aware of it because whenever I watch this back, I hear how many times you guys commentate curse us.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Trying to give everybody the props that they need. And
it's bad enough when you coach curse someone. Now it's coach curse and commentator curse. It's doubly powerful.
The Wolves take the point. We will switch sides of the floor as the Wolves have an 8-6 lead in set number 5. Just a back and forth set. Probably something the Colts didn't come in thinking was going to happen, a 5-set game, but now you're in it and you got to find the energy to pull out a victory against a Algonquin team that's pushing it as hard as they can.
Yeah, talking to them this week, I think they knew they were in for a bit of a battle today. That Algonquin's kind of been up the upswing, and they're resettling themselves in the second semester. But definitely something they're looking to get take advantage of. Early in the game, there was a lot of middle being run very effectively. It seems like both teams have kind of got away from it. I mean, it might just stay a pin-heavy game to the end here, but I think one team is going to establish middle again and get some important points out of their middles before this is over.
The serve by Rollins, handled by Castellato. DeLorme will set. Close side to Delaware through the hands of the block. And a well-placed kill from Ruslan Delaware.
Really good job to hit that down that 116 just outside the block. That's a tough spot to get that over. Between the antenna and the block, that's real hard on a defense if you can hit that hard through that gap.
Burpee serve will float it over Arnold Paquette. Din goes back to Arnold Paquette off the hands of Bosco Ducharme at the net. So the Wolves take the point.
Yeah, I think that was a case of middle just not being quite in the exact spot you'd want to on defense. We love our middles, but they do have lips for a reason.
Served by Landry. DeLorme handles it. The set's going to go to Delaware. Powerful kill.
They set out.
And it was flagged out, though. And it was out. A good slow motion replay. That's why we got producer Leo over there.
Good call by the linesperson. It looked into my eyes live, but he was on it right away.
Landry gets a start again, now up by 3. Matsudo sets back to Delaware. It's blocked at the net by Din.
Ducharme, please. Middle.
Back to Delaware, and Din touches it twice. You can see the fright on his face. He knows he shouldn't have with a diving Puskas behind him. But he had to. Matsudo with the quick serve all of a sudden, and Din's going to set behind him. It's going to be a lift, I believe.
Yeah. It came out of the hands clean, but it was just too low on your face. That would have been great in beach. Unfortunately, we have a little different rules about lifting on the indoor.
So after that lift, the Algonquin Wolves are going to take their timeout.
Coach Jordan gets Castellato into the timeout and getting his drink rather than arguing.
Castellato, I don't know what he was talking about, to be honest with you.
Couldn't tell you. Probably complaining about the set they got a call for, but
that's who Pedro Castellato is, and that's why he's in a captain's role. I guess he can do the talking.
Hey, that Latin fire.
So we'll head into the break here in set number 5 as the Algonquin Wolves lead 10-9. Back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center, a 10-9 Wolves lead as Michael Matsudo gets us started. Din will quickly set into the middle off the hands of the block and off of Caden DeLorme. The Wolves go to the middle for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I've been up here very impatiently waiting for middles to get going here, and Algonquin's the first one to go to it out at the timeout there.
So Puskas will leave the game. That brings back Mahmoud Abdelaziz back into the game. As Arnold Paquette back to serve for the Wolves. DeWarm handles it. Matsudo quick. Tahara off the hands of the block. Castellato keeps it alive. Matsudo will set now back behind him to Delaware. Nobody touches that at the net. Delaware flies that out of bounds. And now a 3-point lead for the Wolves as Coach Timpson is going to have to take a timeout for the Centennial Colts, trying to build some momentum as they are down by 3 here in set number 5. After the quick timeout from Jordan Timpson, Liam Arnold Paquette will get us started. It's his serve handled by Castellato. Matsudo set goes to Hara. He'll hit that through the hands of Landry, but able to keep it up as Arnold Paquette, and a free ball for the Colts. Matsudo will go quickly in the middle, out of the reach of Ducharme, and a missed time set from Matsudo.
I actually think the missed time is on the middle there, I'm not going to lie. It's hard to tell without knowing what they were going for, but I think Ducharme was a little bit late and a little bit far away from Matsudo on that one. Unfortunate when I've been calling for the middle so often here that it doesn't pan out.
Arnold Paquette will serve. Castellato dig. Matsudo goes to Delaware and blocked at the net by Abdelaziz. And that makes it match point for the Algonquin Wolves. That's going to force Jordan Timpson to take his final timeout here in set number 5 as the Colts try and stay alive, down 14-9. So match point for the Algonquin Wolves as Liam Arnold Paquette tries to serve it and end the game for Algonquin. Paquette serve off the tape. Castellato digs it well. Matsudo sets to Delaware through the hands of the block. Colts try and use that for a little bit of energy. They've got to score 5 straight here, or 4 straight at least, to extend this game. And it'll be in the hands of Ruslan Delaware. And we continue going back and forth on timeouts. 1 point for the Colts, and the Algonquin Wolves will take their timeout. It is now 14-10 for the Wolves.
What is this, basketball? The last few points take the whole time?
Oh, man. It's fourth quarter takes about 8 years. It's going to do the exact same here. Unbelievable. Well, we might as well discuss what's going on later for both teams. Of course, the Centennial Colts will play host to the La Cité Coyotes tomorrow at 1 and 3 o'clock. The women's game will be at 1, the men's game at 3 o'clock. Then they will head out on the road to take on the Canadore Panthers and the Georgian Grizzlies. Meanwhile, the Algonquin Wolves, after this, will head back home for a little stay. They'll take on the Seneca Sting, as well as the Georgian Grizzlies.
One to circle on the calendar as well. After our road trips after tomorrow, we have one more home game in terms of regular season against GBC on a Friday night. We would love to see this place packed for senior night as we celebrate some of the Colts' best and brightest having their last home game in regular season. So
absolutely,
mark that one on the calendar.
And a big rival game as well. The close Toronto teams between George Brown and Seneca. I myself went to George Brown before coming here to Centennial, so
I didn't know that.
It's a big game for me. I know. Now you got to move away from me a little bit. Delaware keeps us going. Gasolado, good dig, keeps it alive. The set goes to Zavoinovic, and his kill finds the back corner. The Colts continue to stay alive.
They're fighting. I don't think there's any more timeouts left. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're all good. All timeouts gone as Arnold Paquette subs out of the game for service reception. Coming into the game is number 12. Gavin Hassel is back in to set. He handles it. This goes over the net. I think that was out.
I think it would have been out.
It off the hands of the block. Played back over. Zavoinovic tipped in. A touch at the net on the Wolves side. The Colts keep going.
Had a lot of hands in the crowd going on that first contact, but it was a first contact, so you got to give it, its fair shake, as much as it looks wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right in the rules of volleyball, but absolutely correct. Delaware's serve, handled by Nakashima. Din's set. It's going to go to Abdelaziz. He'll tip it over the net. And Ducharme grabs the ball with Zavoinovic underneath him, meaning the Algonquin Wolves will reverse sweep the Centennial Colts here today, winning set number 5, 15-12.
Nakashima, an excellent pass on to start that rally, and really smart choice to mix up the tempo there by Abdelaziz. Really good job of Wolves to finish that off.
Yeah, so the Wolves use all their momentum and will reverse sweep the Colts, pushing them to a record of 6-8 as they head home after their road trip. The Colts will move to 11-3. As we said, they will be playing against the La Cité Coyotes tomorrow back here at the Athletic and Wellness Center at 1-3, while the Wolves will head back for a homestand. Andrew, any final words before we send this one home?
Well, a long day of volleyball. Both games going to 5s, and really good volleyball between two good programs all around on both women's and men's side, but unfortunate ending for the boys' side. Hopefully they will rebound tomorrow, but pleasure having me here. I appreciate you letting me jump on and talk to the people, and thank you to the people for tuning in and listening. Absolutely.
We thank you for coming up here and giving a little volleyball insight, so I'm not talking to myself for 4 hours. We really appreciate you watching here on ColtsNet Live. For the team here at ColtsNet Live, producer Leo Solorsano, as well for Andrew Mallory, my name is Jack Middleton, and thank you for joining us here on ColtsNet Live, and see you back here tomorrow.